Now, this isn't the same as the tiny cooking, but it's something a bit like it. Big ups URT. We're having a nice chill time here. See if you can guess what's happening. See if you can guess what's happening. It says lettuce making, so it's giving it away there a bit, to be honest. So I'm going to take the closed captions off. We need to do Alan's artwork. We're going to do a stream about Alan's artwork. I'm going to do it because we need to push the art competition next week. So I'm doing that next week. This is cool.
ちょっとで最終的にはもう一度緑を置いて外側の葉っぱを作る。これちょっと色が悪いかもわからない。
His little face when he does it, his little face. He's like, hold it out and I'll get a shot of it. He does his little face when hold it out and I'll get a shot of it. He does his face. His little smiley face when that happens. So happy with that. Let's have his little face, hang on. Let's have his little face. Whee. Proud of that, pleased with that one. That one came out well. Yeah, you are. Here's your little face. Cut that in half. And it looks like a cabbage or a lettuce, but it's not edible. I don't even know what it's made out of, to be honest. It showed you at the start, didn't it? It showed you the preparation process, but all I could see was like tubes of stuff. Very realistic. It even sounds right. I don't want to eat it.
おじさん包丁使うのうまいんだぜ。元魚屋さんでマグロおろしとったんだから。
These are real ingredients now.
はい、こんな感じ。白。
Is that real? That's real food going on there. I didn't know you were allowed to use real food.
ほら、ポテトサラダ。
What have you done? Don't know what that is.
ほら。
Google Bob Hickman's name that he's posted about the transplants on Facebook. Yeah, but I can't open Facebook, can I? Or if I can, then Adam might see some personal details, and I haven't logged in for years, so I might have logged in the other day or some shit. I'm a bit wary of it. I'll do it in a different window and see if I can have a look. I don't know what that is he's made there. Can't comment on it. I have to comment on it for fair use.
もうやっぱね、ほら。焼けてきたじゃん。
Okay.
卵の白身だよ、これ。
Yeah, okay. Right.
で、裏返して。焼きの部分。
So now we're going to stop watching this food. So this edit's gone out the window now. Instead, we're now watching Bob Hickman on Facebook, which I'm not familiar with using Facebook as a medium for this sort of stuff, but...
Greetings, God.
It says YouTube Shorts on it. It's on Facebook.
God entered into my body like a body my same size, like me floating into you, you floating into me. It is June 29th, 2023, and I'm setting up a GoFundMe for hair grafts. And they're expensive, they're painful. There's something, if you're going to have done, you're going to dread. But you'll be glad when it's all said and done. Anyway, the cost of this...
I mean, I don't want to take the piss out of him, but he has got a really remarkable comb over. Coming from it looks like a bit of a Prince Valiant, but, what he's done is he's created a fringe by having his hair coming from way back.
Transplant
Hair plugs.
surgery will be about $15,000. I'm a level 9. There's level 1. And there's level 9. So you can imagine how much hair I've lost. I'm combing over. I've been doing it for a long time. But anyway, if you would like to donate, please do.
I mean, fair play for just stating it as a fact. It's obvious. I would suggest don't get hair plugs at this minute, Bob, if you're watching. If God tells you to watch, I would say don't get hair plugs. What I would do instead is you could get like a toupee or a weave, they call it, I think. Or like, basically you can have like a thing stuck on your head that looks quite realistically like hair. Like, go for something like that instead. See how it feels, see how, like, you feel about it. Because the hair plugs thing might be quite expensive and you might be left with an incomplete... Like, it might be the start, like they might say it's 15 grand, and then you do 15 grand and you've got a certain amount, but it still looks unreal and not quite right, and there's still problems and you want more, and like, it might be a dangerous and expensive road, and you might never be happy with the result. But for the same amount of trial and tribulation, you could just get yourself a little fake bit of hairpiece, and amongst people who've never met you, it might be passable, and, just see what it feels like to do that. The other option is to just fuck it off completely, either wear a hat a lot more, or just accept... I think my hair's thinning, and eventually, you're watching me on streams. If you watch me for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, depending on how long I intend to keep streaming, this hair will thin and probably go. I'll probably keep some, but it'll probably go quite thin and wispish and probably grey. But like, it will recede. It already, as an aging man, it's quite normal for that to happen at some point for most, if not all men, receive some sort of thinning of their hair as their life goes on. So no, you might just have to deal with it. It's how God made you.
Do so, but don't donate so much that it hurts you.
Yeah.
Greetings.
There is semen stains, gave up and shaved it off. There is a point where you just have to just do that, isn't it? And just go with the flow, go with the techno. There are so many people who look pretty fucking cool. No one ever questioned. I think of so many people that no one ever questions the fact that they don't have their hairstyle is to have basically completely shaved hair. That people don't go, oh my god, why are they doing that? That's weird. It's a hairstyle that people have, and it looks all right on some people, most people. Most of us have got a head that just sort of looks all right. So, if you're desperate, like I say, then you can try more inexpensive and less permanent and intrusive solutions to just try it out. The hair transplants thing, though, unless you're Wayne Rooney and you've got millions of dollars and you've got the top surgeons doing a really good job, and even then, I mean, there's a worry. I mean, you look at people like Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. They start on the front bit, and then as that goes further back, they then have to fill in these bits. And at some point, do you end up entirely head transplanted? And does that work? And is that fine? It feels like at some point for a lot of these people, you end up with some bit that's worked and some patchy, probably at best. And you could do the Donald Trump and make it all comb around and work, but maybe it's just best to not have to fuck about with that and just accept that people look the way they look, because that's human.
God entered into my body.
But then this is the world we live in, isn't it, of cosmetic surgery and all sorts of stuff. So, it might be that it's better to... I don't know, like people want to people want to do that. That's also completely fine, I guess. If they've got the money and the inclination. I just worry, I haven't been a hairdresser, I worry about, like, because I've seen how many hairs there are on your head and what a job it has to be to, replicate that even through surgical means. I worry. Like with a haircut, if you get it wrong, then it's just a little haircut, it'll grow out. But if you fuck this up, then you've got a fucked up head forever. And like, it depends how bad. Like before, it might look worse than natural, even bold and unnatural and natural. Bold, and it looks natural, so it's acceptable to people. But unnatural, as in like funny bits that are hair and not hair and regimented rows and too much of a gap and stuff like that. That's what starts to look weird to people. So, like, too much surgery can seem unnatural. Like, even in any case, can't it? Like, any kind of plastic surgery, when taken to an extreme, can make people seem unnatural and weird. And like, it's that weirdness that people don't jive with. So maybe that's a worry. If I was Bob, I'd just not do it. Over here, back here, now my edit is fucked up. Look, he's made a... Looks like a little omelette or something. He's rolled that up. Again, these are not edible. These are fake foods. Trust me, it's called fake food. And I think he's making it out of some sort of either wax.
The drone age has begun in the large-scale...
This is supposed to be chilled War Thunder. I'm not playing War Thunder now, out of principle.
Hey.
This is called making a fake food. I assume he's making it out of some sort of polymer or like plastic or paint or something. I don't know what's going on, how it turns out that it sets in the water, but it seems to set in the water, doesn't it? Whatever he's putting in there, this coloured material. And he cuts it up and puts it in the bowls and it looks like foods. Now, to me, that's not a food I recognise. Again, look at his face. Look at his face, how pleased he is with it. You think it's silicone or wax? Yeah, I don't know. Like, we got to see it at the start. Look, it doesn't explicitly state it. It just shows you this. He's putting what looks like a tube of something into what looks like... So, I mean, to me, it might even be almost oil-based. This looks like it could be oil-based, like oil paint. And this, like, might be terps with the different colours. You know, you put a little bit of terps in with the oil, don't you, to let it down. But then with the water set it, like oil and water don't mix, do they? So maybe there's something happening there. It's some sort of... He puts this tube into here. I mean, I thought it might be resin as well, but that's how he makes those colours and that mix that he then pours in and shapes in the water. And it's quite thin when he pours it in. And the water does the job of making it solid, changing it from a liquid to a solid, which is quite impressive in some ways, isn't it? And he's just got to quickly manipulate it while it's in the process. Okay, what we have in next? Making fried shrimp. I'm going to turn the captions off, I don't want to know. I prefer to guess. What's this now? He's put a tail on that. That tail's come out of nowhere. Where did he get the tail from? Hang on. He's torn that up and he's shaped it with his hands. And he's got the tail just already over there. Maybe he made the tail. Maybe that's a real tough thing to make. Or maybe he's just got a box of tails. I don't know. That's gone on there like that. That doesn't look so special, that one. It looks like you just squashed it in your hands. It's getting a bit of colour there. I mean, the process is really fun, isn't it? Like, I don't know, like, he's making, I assume, Japanese foods, and I guess the reason he's making them is that they must want them for display purposes in restaurants, but also it reminds me of toy foods that children play with. Like when you're a kid, you have toy foods, don't you? I don't suppose these are good things to have around children, because they do look like they might even be edible. Not edible, you should eat them, but like they could accidentally eat them. And then did he say water or daughter? The other thing that I find quite intriguing is the process that you don't have to make. You could probably do this and apply it to Western foods like hamburgers and stuff. That's an interesting one. But then also, you don't have to make foods. You could make anything, couldn't you? And if you've got a box of whatever this is and a bowl of water, this is quite an interesting craft. I assume it's not dangerous. I assume this stuff is not like drastically keep it away from kids toxic. It might be, in which case it's not so. I'm not assuming it's not flammable, for example, but assuming it's not like, you know, some hobbies. I was considering doing stained glass as a hobby, like designing and creating a stained glass. I want to at some point in my life design and create a couple of pieces in stained glass. The process of doing it means that you have to break and shave glass, so your workshop has lots of bits of shavings of glass in it, and as to yet I haven't really thought of a good place to do that, because I don't want loads of shavings of glass everywhere in my house, you know what I mean. But with this, like, you know, you might be making a bit of a mess with the water over here, but you know, a bit of water on a bit of kitchen roll's fine, isn't it? Like, you got your tubes of stuff, you got your bowls. Quite happy getting on with your hobbies, aren't you?
上からですね。
Different ways, techniques. What's he doing here?
こうすると衣が弾き散った衣になっちゃう。
That's going in there now. It's almost like cooking in a way, isn't it? You're right in chat, tempura shrimp, look. And the tempura looks, that looks bright.
食べちゃうか。
His face. I love it. He's posing with his face at the end every time. I love his little face. I don't know anything about him. I hope he could be the worst. He could be like Alan. He could be like Japanese Alan. You know, he might be a right chuffer for all I know. But my first impressions are I like his little face. I think the skill and the craft is interesting. I wonder how long it took him to come up with this, and whether it's something that like people just say, oh, tempura shrimp, or the way we do it in the industry is this, or whether he sat there for years and just come up with this concept, and you know, there's not that many people doing it, and he's just like come up with his own version. You know what I mean? It's a strange pastime, so I wonder if it's just a common thing in Japan. Oh, people are always banging up fake food. Yeah, there's one down every street. Everyone knows how they do the tempura shrimp, mate. Or if this guy's had to like perfect his own art. What's this now? I mean, bear in mind you don't have the similar sort of food style, but we could maybe predict it. You predicted tempura shrimp there. What's that going on there? Or is this ice cream or some shit? That was easy. It's an icy thing, isn't it? Like
ほら
icy.
黄色いのにこうレモンシロップをとか言って
The water's becoming a bit of a mess.
これを上に塗ってほら
That's on there. That looks like piss.
チェリーも乗っける
Those fruits can't be real, can they?
わかった
No, they're not real. And he's made them look like they've got pissy ice cream on them now as well, so I wouldn't... You know, it's the green. Green's a big favourite.
でもこれは大
Big
人のアイ
favourite
スクリー
colour.
ムになります
Oh,
はい
the
乗って
melon
るよ
baller.
ドン
I know, it does look like an ice cream. Like, if someone did that for you, like, if he went to Hong Kong, I mean, I don't know if he's in Japan or China, to be honest. I mean, I should have researched it. I think it's Japanese, to be honest. It's Japanese, I can see these are Japanese language symbols. Yeah. Like, that's Japanese, isn't it, that I'm reading there? I think it is, isn't it? So, but if I was in Japan and I was having a walk around and someone said, do you want some street food? Honestly, it's vegan. And they did that. And I was like, is it vegan? And they went, yeah. And they handed me that. I would take a bite out of it. Oh, it just fucking tastes all like weird shit. Like, probably not edible. Probably shouldn't eat it, but because it says the process of making fake food. He's been doing it for 53 years. So I want to know. I need it in my brain. I need to know if it's like after 53 years he's perfected these techniques, but anyone could do it. It's not hard. Or if it took 53 years of training to get to this standard, And if I just did that and dribbled it in the water and squashed it in my hands, I wouldn't just end up with something that looks like a green poo.
すご技
Big ups, it's Clow. First time chatter. Sorry I didn't get to you sooner. There we go. I keep thinking he's going to do an egg. I mean, that just looks like anything. Looks like an egg to me. Bit of egg. Chopping it up. This looks like quite a lot like food. What I like about this as well is he's got the stuff like the squirty tube of whatever it is he's using, and like he's got his like arts and crafts stuff, but he's also got a chopping board and a knife because he's making fake food, and at some point you bring in the utensils for normal food. It's a lot like cooking. Chopped up bits now. That could be onion or anything. Oh, we've got the red. We don't see a lot of red. It's going straight in with the pork. He doesn't fuck about. And this is going on there. All the bits of like white. I'm starting to think it's not going to be what I think it is, which was bits of onion. I'm starting to think he's going to turn it into something else. Oh, that's getting a right squash. I want to squeeze the water out of that, I reckon. It's getting a right squash. He's made like a little dough out of it. I wonder how much this stuff sets. Now what's happening to it? This doesn't look appetizing. I really need to invest in Prime. I need to look into it. I think you need one of those bank accounts with a debit card. We're all just chilling here so much we didn't notice the new chat. But it alerts me to it. It says first time chat, but I've been so I'm stoned and I'm engrossed in this amazing process. Is he making a meat egg? To me it looks a bit like it might be a meat egg. What's this? Oh wait, hang on. Oh, pop his hand. Oh, let's give that a right squash. Look at that. I'm vegan, but that's bacon. It's going back in the water now. I wonder if the water's cold or hot or something, if that makes a difference. But look at that, squashing it out to make his bacon. And that is, I mean, if someone brought that to you in a restaurant, you might, but if you're in Japan, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, okay, you might just eat it. I think you can't eat it. I think it's fake food. He's happy. His face at the end every time. He's happy with his bacon. I mean, I wonder how long he's been doing this. 53 years, so I don't have to wonder that. But I wonder how long he's been doing it and no one said, can I film it? No one's give a shit. Like, do you think he goes to parties and he's like, I make, like at some point it comes up in conversation, I make fake foods, and they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I've got this like system with tubes of, I don't know what it is, and I put it in water and make like fake bacon. And they're like, you mean you can eat it? Like, you know, vegan bacon? And he's like, no, I mean like, it's made of plastic. And they're like, all right. Anyway, so I was talking to Jeff, and I was saying that what we need more at the office is, and I, you know, people just ignore him after that. Like, they're like, I don't know what he's talking about. It's confusing, and like, I don't know what Japanese culture's like. Maybe they're more polite about it, but in the main, I don't think this hobby gets you loads of like interesting new opportunities and friends. I think it's one of these that you do in your little room. I might be wrong. I mean, I might be totally wrong, but I don't know what the culture is out there. I don't know how popular this sort of behaviour is. But it seems, but he's really fucking pleased with it, and now someone's here to film it, and they said, I like the bacon. And after they've done, like, there's more of this video. After he's done the bacon, they said, I like that. Have you got any more? And he's more. Yeah, I've got more. He's having the time of his life today. Show me all the different ones. They're saying, you know, his relatives are sick of hearing about it. They're sick of seeing the bacon. Oh, the process has taken me years to perfect. My relatives have had to, in his house, the test process is that he replaces the real foods with the fake foods that he's made out of plasticine, and then if his relatives accidentally eat them, then that's a good one. But if they notice, because they're on the lookout, if they notice, then they don't eat it, then it's not a good one. It has to pass the family test, and that means that for his family, they've had to accidentally eat plasticine food for years as part of his hobbies. Look at all this stuff. Wait, making cup noodles, this says, so I've accidentally revealed it. My guess is, I said before you can't put real stuff in it. This isn't real stuff, is it? This is all stuff that he's made out of plastic and put in boxes so that he can then use it later in his assembly. I can tell. This stuff, this box especially, this one especially. It's all plastic stuff, isn't it? I mean, it looks great. I mean, I don't know how to make all this stuff, but I'm assuming this is... Unless you're actually going to use real sweet corn, which I don't think you're going to do. I assume this has all been stuff that he's made. I'd love to see how he's made all these different items. Yeah, come on, no, those noodles are not real noodles, are they? Don't tell me you're making plastic food and then you're doing real noodles. Now wait, because there's so much of this stuff, he must be selling these. Like, he's got a production line going. Like, these must be flying out. People must be buying these in what? I thought like you might sell one or two here and there, but maybe it's like a touristy item or a, you know, toy item or something that people like. Or maybe it's just for display. Maybe Cup of Noodles wants fucking loads of these for their displays, and he's the only chuffer that makes them. I don't know. Don't know what that star is. Apparently it goes in the Cup of Noodles. So it's a ham star. I don't know. This doesn't look anything like a real Cup of Noodles, does it? Because in Cup of Noodles you get nothing. What's going on now? Is it glue? Could this be glue? Could it be like PVA glue?
I'll show you.
I think it might be PVA glue. It's making me hungry in a way. Yeah, you're right, Michelle Sloth. This has made me hungry, yeah. I'm sorry that I'm doing it to you, but it does make me hungry. So if you want to feel less hungry, just don't look at his hand. His grotch's thumb. Maybe he needs that thumb like that, but I would cut his nails if I was him. Now that looks like a curris. Oh, that does look like a curris, doesn't it? I mean, this must be such a satisfying hobby.
Are you still wearing enough layers to insulate a...
Yeah, I'm wearing clothes. Fuck off. No, I don't want to buy your clothes anymore. I'll wear whatever clothes. That's going in the oven. A special oven for making not food, I imagine. Oh, because it's browned the stuff that's not set. That's incredible. It's like changed the consistency of it. Look, that is banging. Look at the heat gun. And again, like, 53 years in the industry, I get it, but at what point did someone say, hey, have we tried putting this shit in the oven? I mean, it is real food after... I mean, not real food, it's fake food after all. What would happen if you put it in the oven? Like, you must have to mess about with your materials to discover things, mustn't you? The heat gun's on it now, anyway. That's turned it all glossy. That's finished it nice and glossy. I'm impressed. I don't know really what to say. I'm just impressed. Oh, look at that. You put it on top of a cup of noodles. That's a good idea. Isn't it? Clever. I wonder if you're recycling those cups or getting them fresh. Cup noodle. I mean, that I guess is what you're selling as your... Because there's a production line, bear in mind. So he's churning these out and they're selling them. Maybe it's like a joke toy for people. I need to get an ad block. I really do, yeah. Except I'm loath... I would have done on the old computer, but now I'm on the big new computer. I don't want to download anything dodgy off the internet. So I'm just like, nah. I'll just pay for Prime eventually when I sort out my bank account situation. Because I've got an old bank account that doesn't have a proper debit card that lets you buy things on the internet, which I'm quite okay with because I don't want to spend loads of money on stuff on the internet. But like, I could still do Amazon through the family system. But like, I don't really want to. You know, the easier it is to spend your money, the easier it is to spend your money, isn't it? So I'm dragging my heels on that. But as soon as I do, then I'll get YouTube Prime and not subject us to the adverts anymore. But really, as a YouTube content creator, I think we should just get free, no adverts. Like, because I'm rebroadcasting YouTube and celebrating it, so I should get a free pass. But they won't listen to me. I'm not a narcissist. I'll just buy Prime. Big ups, Trish. 6 hours of readings, bang on. I'd like to watch that. I watched your stuff about Alan that you recommended. I enjoyed it. You did say he should wear better clothes, and he did take note and listen. And you know what? I was watching it, and at one point I was thinking, this is exactly what Alan would watch. Exactly, it's about him. Like, he wants to hear what you've got to say about him. Absolutely. Yeah. I like the stuff. It's incredibly late at night now. It's 2 in the morning, so we're just watching this relaxing video of this man making this plastic food. This is fine. I want to get you on a stream as well. I want to do some, like, you know, get you to tell me about some stuff on stream. It'd be cool, like spiritual stuff or like tarot stuff. We did a bit of Alan earlier. We just basically said he's been very boring recently. And then, as I was saying, he did an episode tonight where he said that Shannon Watts' mom was potentially in the know about her murder and didn't tell the police. And then also that Shannon Watts was no saint, which I thought was fucking rich coming from Alan. So I was surprised at the audacity of the man. But then I shouldn't be, should I? Yeah, I haven't been on this week, have I? I've just been... I've not been smoking as much weed, and this sounds a bit weird, but like being jovial and entertaining on the internet. I like smoking a bit of a reefer and like having a laugh on the internet, I guess. And some other family bits and pieces, and just... Yeah, just sitting down in the time to switch. There were a couple of times where I thought, oh, I'd quite like to stream now, but it was like 2 in the morning, and I was like, right, now's not the right time. But yeah, I thought I'd make sure I put in a stream this weekend so that we didn't do a full week of nothing. And like, we've got subscribers now. Thanks very much to Red Fan. So I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I did something, and I've smoothed into it, eased into it tonight, and it's been kind of good, having a bit of a chillis. There's time. I need to get back to pushing the YouTube content. You know, you need to have your energy behind it. I'm sure you know, both as an intuitive reader and someone who like uses energy, and also someone who does YouTube and makes content, that like, you know, it seems weird to say it because like it sounds like the dream job, doesn't it? Just switch on the camera and let's start talking and making content. Just do that every day. But I'm surprised, even Alan, like, I'm surprised by his stamina and longevity over time. Like, I can do an 8-hour stream, no problem, but every day, every week, like all the time, having the right energy to, I don't want to say perform, it's not the right word, perform, but you know, to be on and be on stream. Like, it's more than a skill or a talent. Like, it requires maybe hard work, but something extra. I don't know. My feeling is that maybe no one should be feeling like they want to be on stream all the time. And content creation is a bit funny because it's just me doing it. So if I don't do it, you don't see any because nothing happens. So, but I didn't feel like it this week so much. Yeah. So I didn't. I think it's fine as well. Like I said, just, you know, people should do what their energies tell them to do, really, shouldn't they? I don't think you should be like arguing with this. Like, you should try and push yourself and work hard, of course, but like, you know. So now we're pumping this stuff in. Look, I'm saying that looks like PVA glue to me, or like a thick version, like cork. What are these disc things that we're putting in? What are they? They're going in anyway, whatever they are. They got made earlier. And then we're pumping it in. It looks a bit ice creamy, like Mr. Whippis. And that's made earlier. I think it's a bit cheeky to put things in that have been made earlier, but go ahead. This is your pudding, except you can't eat it. So I suppose those are supposed to be like meringues. And this is little bits of like fruit. Strawberry's impressive. There's one they made earlier. And then that's just like supposed to look like blood at the end, so I don't know why you'd want to put that on. In fact, that's ruined it for me. Do you think I have an interview with the vampire? Fucking hell. He's saying, oh shit. a mushroom. You don't have a mushroom in it. Is that like, it looks like he just poured nail varnish on at the end. Oh, but his face. Look at his face. And he was pretending to eat it as well. Look, he's just pretending to eat it. Look, I mean, don't look at his thumb. Don't worry about his thumb. But look, his little face he's got pretending to eat it. Let's have his face in big. 55 years, man and boy. It's a tough old game, making fake food. And then someone turns up and says they want to show you off on YouTube. And you think, well, I've got time in between making another 60 pot noodles. I wonder if there's like a shop somewhere that's selling these items, yeah, that he makes, and he has to provide them like in the 100, in the 200, and he's just on his own sitting at home having to like make hundreds of them. I don't know, but like he seems really happy to be filmed for this YouTube. He doesn't know that this is going to end up getting 7 million views, and this was only out August the 3rd, 2023. So that's like a recent upload, and it's got 7 million views. So it's pretty popular, I can tell you. Pretty fucking popular.